So let's try out a multi-persona roleplay.
Hello?
Hi, Mark. Thanks for getting on the call and also getting in Daniel and Priya.
Hey, appreciate you making the time. Yeah, I wanted to bring Daniel and Priya in since we're getting closer to making a decision here. But they've got some specific areas they'll want to dig into. What did you want to cover today?
Let's start with Daniel. You mentioned there were some concerns around security.
Yeah, thanks for asking. I've got a few things I need clarity on before we can move forward. First off, what's your approach to data encryption? I need to know how you're handling data both at rest and in transit. And where are you at with SOC 2 compliance?
Yeah, so we are already SOC2 compliant, and we do data encryption at rest, at transit, at rest. We use the AWS encryption, that is AE6256. And in transit, we are encrypting via HTTPS SSL. Is that good?
Okay, that's a solid start. AES 256 is good, and HTTPS with SSL covers the transit piece. But I need to understand your access controls a bit more. How are you managing user permissions and role-based access? And what about data residency? Where is our data actually going to be stored geographically?
Yeah, so the data is stored in our US data center, AWS. And we also have user permission and RBAC in place, role-based access control in place. Yeah.
US data center works for us, and role-based access is good. One more thing though, do you offer any options for private or dedicated storage? We handle some pretty sensitive sales data, and I want to make sure we've got the right level of isolation if we need it.
Absolutely. So we serve multiple enterprise accounts, and we do support private dedicated storage. So you can just share your S3 credentials or S3 API key, and we will sync the data into your S3 service directly, and no data will be stored on our service.
That's exactly what I was hoping to hear. Having the option to use our own S3 bucket gives me a lot more confidence from a security standpoint. I think that addresses my main concerns.
All right. Well, since Daniel's happy with the security piece, let me jump in here. What are we looking at for pricing? I need to understand the commercial structure before we go any further.
Yeah, so I discussed this a bit with Mark. We are looking to charge you $10,000 for a year. Does that sound good?
10,000 a year. Okay, that's a starting point. But I've got to be honest, I need to see some flexibility here. What does that include exactly? And is there any room for negotiation? We're talking about 1,000 employees. Seems like there should be some volume consideration.
I think it'll be just too difficult. I did discuss this with my manager yesterday. The maximum we can do is around 10% discount on this. So is that something okay?
10% would bring us to 9,000. That's better, but I was really hoping for something closer to a 5% reduction from that 9,000 figure. So we'd be looking at around 85.50 annually. Can you work with that?
Okay, I think we can work with that for now for the first year.
First year only? Hold on. I need more than a 1 year deal at that rate. What happens in year 2? I'm not going to agree to something that jumps back up. If we're doing 85.50, I need at least a 2 year commitment at that price, ideally 3.
Three would be really difficult. Let's start with around 2 years for now.
2 years at 85.50 per year? That works for me. And just to be clear, that includes all the features we've discussed, including the dedicated S3 storage option Daniel needs.
Yeah, absolutely. That's part of the package.
All right, this is sounding pretty solid. Daniel's security concerns are covered. Priya's got the pricing where she needs it. From my side, I just want to make sure we're clear on the ROI here. What kind of timeline are we looking at for implementation? And when can we realistically expect to start seeing impact on our win rates and rep productivity?
Yeah, so we are expecting the implementation time to be around 3 weeks, and probably at the end of first quarter, we should see some results and progressively improve over the next 3 quarters.
3 weeks for implementation is reasonable. We can work with that. And seeing initial results by end of Q1 with progressive improvement makes sense. That gives us a full year to measure the real impact on our numbers. So just to make sure we're all aligned here, 2-year contract at 8550 annually includes dedicated S3 storage, SOC2 compliant, full encryption, 3-week implementation, and we start tracking ROI from Q1. Daniel, Priya, are you both comfortable moving forward with this?
Yeah, I'm good on the security side.
Works for me commercially.
What are the next steps to get this finalized?
So, Mark, will share the contract with you right away, and also the order form so that you can start with the wire transfer.
Perfect. Send those over and I'll review them with our legal team. Assuming everything in the contract matches what we've discussed today, we should be able to get this signed and payment processed within the next week or so. Appreciate you working with us on the pricing and addressing Daniel's security requirements. This should be a good partnership.
Awesome, Mark, Priya, Daniel, really excited for this. Here, looking forward to hearing from you soon. Thank you.
Sounds good. We'll keep an eye out for that contract. Talk soon.
So yeah, this was a multi-agent role play. We just kept it bit short and simple, just for the demonstration purpose, right? Once the role play is processed, you'll be able to hear the entire conversation. You will be able to see the transcript. Also, the scorecard will be generated in a few minutes. Thank you.